Welcome to our overview of the human musculoskeletal system. When we think about how we move, stand, or even protect ourselves from impact, we are really talking about the incredible partnership between two distinct yet deeply interconnected systems, the skeletal system and the muscular system. Together they form what is known as the musculoskeletal system, the very framework that gives our body its shape and allows us to interact with the world around us. Its fundamental roles are diverse and vital. First, it provides structure, the very scaffolding that supports all our soft tissues and organs. Without it, we would be shapeless. Second, it offers protection, with bones like the skull and rib cage acting as natural armor for our most delicate organs, such as the brain and heart. Third, and perhaps most obviously, it is the engine of movement. This system allows for everything from the grand powerful motions of running and jumping to the fine delicate tasks performed by our fingers. Finally, it ensures our stability, constantly making micro adjustments to maintain our posture and balance, whether we are sitting still or in motion. Throughout this presentation, we will explore how these two systems, bones and muscles, work in perfect synergy to achieve these remarkable feats. Starting with the foundation itself, the skeleton. Let's begin by examining the skeletal system, the rigid internal framework that is truly our body's foundation. An adult human skeleton is a marvel of biological engineering, comprising exactly 206 bones, each with a unique size and shape tailored to its specific role. To better understand this complex structure, we divide it into two main parts. The first is the axial skeleton, which forms the central axis of the body. It includes the skull, the vertebral column or spine, and the rib cage. Its primary job is to support the body's weight and protect its core internal organs. The second part is the appendicular skeleton, which consists of the bones of our limbs, our arms and legs, as well as the pectoral and pelvic girdles that attach these limbs to the axial skeleton. This part is primarily responsible for locomotion and manipulation of objects. Furthermore, bones themselves are not uniform. They are classified into four main categories based on their shape. Long bones, like the femur in your thigh, are longer than they are wide and act as levers. Short bones, found in the wrist and ankle, are cubic-shaped and provide stability with some movement. Flat bones, such as the sternum or skull bones, are thin and often curved, serving as protective shells and points for muscle attachment. Finally, irregular bones, like the vertebrae, have complex shapes that don't fit into the other categories, each with a specialized function. While we often think of the skeleton as just a static frame, its functions are incredibly dynamic and essential for life. Its most obvious role is providing support. The skeleton is the internal scaffolding that holds everything up, giving the body its shape and preventing it from collapsing under its own weight. Beyond support, it serves as a critical protective shield. The cranium encases our delicate brain, the vertebrae protect the spinal cord, and the rib cage forms a cage around the heart and lungs, safeguarding these vital organs from external trauma. Another crucial yet overlooked function is storage. Bones are the body's main reservoir for important minerals, especially calcium and phosphorus. They can release these minerals into the bloodstream when needed for other bodily functions, such as nerve transmission and muscle contraction. Furthermore, the internal yellow marrow of some bones serves as a storage site for energy-rich lipids. So you see, the skeletal system is not just a passive structure, it's a living, dynamic factory and warehouse that is indispensable to our overall health and survival. Now we turn to the engines of our body, the muscular system. This system is composed of specialized tissues that have the unique ability to contract or shorten to produce force and motion. There are three distinct types of muscle tissue, each with a different structure and function. First, we have skeletal muscle. This is the type we are most familiar with, as it attaches to our bones and is under our conscious, voluntary control. Every time you decide to walk, lift an object, or smile, you are using your skeletal muscles. They are striated, meaning they have a striped appearance under a microscope, which is due to the highly organized arrangement of their internal proteins. The second type is cardiac muscle.
Found only in the walls of the heart, this muscle is also striated, but it is involuntary. We don't have to think about making a heart beat. The cardiac muscle works tirelessly and rhythmically throughout our entire lives to pump blood. The third type is smooth muscle. This muscle is found in the walls of hollow internal organs like the stomach, intestines, bladder, and blood vessels. It is not striated, and like cardiac muscle, it is involuntary. Smooth muscle is responsible for processes like digestion and regulating blood pressure, performing its duties automatically without our conscious input. While all three are vital, our focus for the musculoskeletal system is primarily on the skeletal muscles, the powerful engines that move our bones.
The muscular system, particularly the skeletal muscles, performs a wide array of functions that are absolutely essential for our daily lives. The most prominent function is, of course, movement. By contracting and pulling on bones, skeletal muscles allow us to perform every conceivable physical action, from the powerful strides of a sprinter to the subtle expressions on our face. But movement isn't just about locomotion. The involuntary contractions of smooth and cardiac muscles are also a form of movement, propelling food through our digestive tract and pumping blood to every cell in our body. Beyond just moving us from place to place, muscles are constantly working to maintain our posture and stabilize our body. Even when you feel like you're sitting perfectly still, dozens of muscles in your back, neck, and core are making tiny, constant adjustments to keep you upright against the pull of gravity. Another vital and often underappreciated function is heat production. Muscle contraction is an energy-intensive process, and a significant byproduct of this metabolic activity is heat. In fact, muscle activity is our body's main source of warmth, which is why we shiver, a rapid involuntary contraction of muscles when we get cold. Finally, muscles play a key role in circulation. The rhythmic beating of the cardiac muscle is the primary driver of blood flow, while the contraction of skeletal muscles in our legs helps to squeeze veins and push blood back toward the heart, preventing it from pooling in our extremities. Neither the skeletal nor the muscular system can produce movement on its own. Their power lies in their seamless partnership. The connection point is a strong, flexible, fibrous cord called a tendon. Tendons anchor muscles firmly to bones. When a muscle contracts, it shortens and pulls on the tendon, which in turn pulls on the bone, causing it to move. The actual movement occurs at joints, which are the junctions where two or more bones meet. These joints act as pivots or fulcrums, allowing for a specific range and type of motion, like the hinge joint of your elbow or the ball and socket joint of your shoulder. To ensure these joints don't come apart, they are stabilized by ligaments, which are tough, elastic bands of tissue that connect bone to bone. This intricate system allows for highly controlled and precise movements, largely thanks to a principle called antagonistic pairs. This means that muscles are often arranged in pairs on opposite sides of a joint. One muscle, the agonist, contracts to produce a movement, while the other muscle, the antagonist, relaxes and stretches. To reverse the movement, their roles switch. The classic example is in the upper arm. To bend your elbow, your biceps muscle contracts while your triceps muscle relaxes. To straighten it, the triceps contracts and the biceps relaxes. This beautiful coordination between muscles, tendons, ligaments, and bones is what enables the vast and graceful spectrum of human movement. Maintaining a healthy and functional musculoskeletal system is a lifelong endeavor that is profoundly influenced by our lifestyle choices. Nutrition forms the very building blocks of this system. For strong bones, an adequate intake of calcium and vitamin D is non-negotiable. Calcium is the primary mineral that gives bones their hardness, while vitamin D is essential for the body to absorb that calcium. For muscles, protein is the key nutrient, providing the amino acids necessary for repairing and building muscle tissue after exertion. Beyond diet, exercise is paramount. Our bones and muscles operate on a use it or lose it principle. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, running, and dancing put stress on the skeleton, which signals the body to deposit more minerals and strengthen the bones. Similarly, resistance training like lifting weights or using resistance bands create microscopic tears in muscle fibers, which the body then repairs and rebuilds stronger than before. This process of adaptation is continuous throughout our lives.
During childhood and adolescence, these systems are in a state of rapid growth. In adulthood, the focus shifts to maintenance and preserving the mass and strength we've built. Simple lifestyle choices such as maintaining good posture while sitting and working and avoiding prolonged periods of inactivity can have a huge impact on preventing chronic pain and injury, ensuring our body's framework serves us well for decades to come. Despite its resilience, the musculoskeletal system is not immune to challenges. It can be affected by a range of disorders and injuries. Conditions like osteoporosis cause bones to become weak and brittle, increasing the risk of fractures, while various forms of arthritis lead to painful inflammation in the joints. Acute injuries such as bone fractures, muscle strains, and ligament sprains are also common. The natural process of aging also brings about significant changes. After peaking in early adulthood, bone density gradually begins to decline. Similarly, muscle mass and strength tend to decline with age, a condition known as sarcopenia. These age-related changes can lead to reduced mobility, an increased risk of falls, and a general decline in functional ability. However, the outlook is far from bleak. The field of medicine has made incredible strides in addressing these issues. Rehabilitation and physical therapy play a critical role in helping individuals recover from injuries, manage chronic conditions, and counter the effects of aging through targeted exercise and treatment plans. Looking to the future, we are on the cusp of a new era of treatment. Emerging therapies in fields like regenerative medicine, including stem cell therapy and tissue engineering, hold the promise of not just managing symptoms, but actually repairing and regenerating damaged bone, cartilage, and muscle tissue. These innovations offer profound hope for enhancing recovery, improving quality of life, and keeping us moving stronger for longer.